Okay, so I am live. Alright, let me see here. Oh, wait. I don't get why. Alright, so I'm just going to go ahead and start the video. This is a viewer suggested video by a guy named Jack Carter. So he wants me to watch why are British place names so hard to pronounce? And I apologize if I'm having an issue here. I don't stream so much, so. Alright, so concurrent viewers 0. I don't know how I can even. I'm trying to figure this stuff out right now. So, anyways, yeah. So let's get into this video.
British place names can be tricky to pronounce.
Take this place. Looks simple. But what if we told you it was pronounced Grimis?
We'd be lying. It's Grimsby.
But other places can be
Grimsby.
genuinely.
I was going to say it looks exactly like Grimsby.
Wrong, risk being imprisoned or killed.
In today's programme, we're going to ask why British place names are so hard to pronounce.
Is there an and coming?
No, I'm done.
Welcome to Map Men.
We're the men.
And here's the map.
Map men.
There are difficult to pronounce place names all over the world.
California has Zizix, Slovenia has Ptuj, Greenland has...
Kekertarsuit.
Even Welsh natives struggle with this one.
And tonight we can expect to see heavy showers spreading from the west into...
What the hell?
Wales.
But deliberately hard to pronounce names invented for promotional purposes like Llanfair, Pwllgwyn, Gwrgogerachuin, Droboclantesilo, Gogogoch aside,
Show off.
British place names cause more trouble than most, because they often look straightforward but contain nonsensical phonetic traps that are impossible to predict.
Try this one.
From?
Say it out loud, in your room or on your train.
Ha 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 ha! Wrong, it's not Frome.
Frome, it should be blitheringly obvious, is pronounced Froome.
But if you did say
Frome.
Frome, don't worry, you're in good company. Frome is officially the most mispronounced place name in Britain, and that's according to a proper survey.
Excuse me, could you mispronounce Froome for me?
Portsmouth.
That'll do. There's nothing more fun than laughing at tourists who don't know how to say something properly simply because they're from a different country and could never reasonably be expected to have predicted a local pronunciation that contradicts the basic rules of language.
So, we've created the perfect travel agent's itinerary for maximising tourist humiliation across the country.
Starting in Biaulio,
Bewley,
head over to Radpisham,
Ransom,
then down to Mousehole.
Mousehole,
Next, travel
Mousehole?
north up to Towcester,
Toaster,
then a quick jaunt
Toaster.
to Gotham,
Gotham,
followed by a stop in Quernmore,
Quorma,
before finishing up in Alnwick.
Alnwick, which is near Newcastle.
What?
Or, as the people from the city itself say, Newcastle.
When will they learn? As you can hear, no letter of the English alphabet is safe from being pronounced any of dozens of different ways.
Including not at all.
Thankfully, there are some general rules you can stick to, and because we're nice, we'll help the un-British amongst you through a couple of basics.
Cester is pronounced stir.
Leicester, Worcester, Gloucester,
W at the start of the final syllable is silent.
Norwich, Berwick, Southwark,
ER is pronounced R.
Berkshire, Clerkenwell, Hertfordshire.
But before you get too reassured, for every rule in the English language there are always exceptions, such as the Cester in,
Cirencester,
the W in,
Sandwich.
and the sound in,
Oh, this is disgusting. Oh, sorry, Berkhamsted.
which is in Hertfordshire.
Berkhamsted.
The only way to be absolutely sure of pronouncing British place names correctly is to live here long enough to learn every single one of them, one at a time. Sorry.
So who were the complete anchors that invented these rules?
It's time for an English lesson.
To make an English language, you start with the base of Germanic Anglo-Saxon. Mix in a healthy dash of Old Norse, a huge dollop of Norman French, and just a barely detectable hint of Celtic. Trust me, it'll make all the difference. Stir it up for hundreds of years until the vowels really start to shift, and then...
Till the vowels really start to shift.
English.
Excitingly, by looking at a map of Britain today, we can clearly see which invaders influenced our language where by plotting the origins of British place names. This marvellous, messy, multicoloured map shows which languages different British place names belong to and is a living history of our early settlers and subsequent invaders.
The oldest place names here are of Celtic origin. This is where you'll find all the place names with words like tre, loch...
Sorry guys,
and
I'm not used to streaming and I was trying to figure out, I couldn't figure it. I'm supposed to be able to control it in my OBS Studio software. It's not letting me do it. So then my stream settings, because I have to do it through there, but for some reason OBS isn't registering it, so I don't know. I was trying to figure out how to make it where I can control it or check the comments. Let's go back to this.
Such as Aberystwyth, meaning the mouth, Aber, of the River Istwyth.
which coincidentally is exactly where we find Aberystwyth today.
Celtic languages were once spoken all across the British Isles, but are now reduced to a small minority of mountain dwellers. And that's because low-lying Middle England Brits turned out to be more worse at resisting invading armies.
First up were the Romans, who brought in Britain's Latin influences.
Like the rumba.
No, like boring Latin.
Boring
Anywhere
Latin.
that ends in caster, cester, chester, or xeter was a Roman fort, from the
Oh,
Latin
okay.
word castra, meaning Roman fort.
But the Romans didn't stay long.
So
although their
Worcestershire-
naming system
or no,
was
that's Shire.
long-lasting, the actual names they
So what
used
about-
weren't, which is
Right there, Gloucester. That's actually Gloucester. That's where they do that cheese rolling. That shit's crazy, by the way. If you haven't seen that, I do have a video on what is cheese rolling. You should go check it out.
Which is perhaps unsurprising when we learn they used names like Castra Exploratorum and Belgic Oppidum.
which was sensibly renamed Braintree.
Next, in light
Braintree.
pink, we have the biggest group, Germanic Anglo-Saxon.
Any place containing the words Ham, Hurst, Lee, Bury, Ford, Port, Mere, Stead, Tunstall, Wick, Witch, or Mere are of good old Anglo-Saxon origin and massively dominate southern England.
Like Buckingham.
Or a low-lying area of land belonging to an Anglo-Saxon called Bucca.
Perhaps the most upheavaling thing to happen to Britain's place names was the Vikings, who swept in from Scandinavia in the 9th century, committing brutal crimes including rape, pillage, and the renaming of small to medium-sized settlements.
Nice ham.
You can tell a place was named by the Vikings if it ends in Thwaite, Thorpe, Kirk, or B.
Such as our old friend
Oh, really?
Grimsby, named after an important Viking called Grim, famed for his infectious positive energy. Grimsby literally means Grim's village.
Really?
We're all familiar with these common settlement suffixes, but what's so striking is how clearly this map of Viking place names reflects the extent of the Viking invasions. You can practically see the exact location of the Danelaw dividing Viking and Anglo-Saxon England without needing to draw it on with thick red pen.
Following all these invasions, Britain was littered with place names that originated in different languages and accents.
Actually,
Following the thing
hey,
that would make its place names
I know there
truly
is a little bit of a delay here, but I just saw your comment, Terry O'Connor. I'm not actually sure. I didn't actually have that problem before, and then just randomly, I don't know. I'm still trying to figure this out. I've only been doing YouTube like a little over a month, so literally I've known, you know, like before this last month or so, I didn't know anything about what I was doing. So, and I still really don't. But I don't know. It seems like, you know, I'll go like a couple days, and I think I have everything fixed, and then all of a sudden, just randomly, it's not. Thinking that was the problem, and it was good for a while. Then all of a sudden, I'm having static. I don't know. Is it doing it right now during the live stream? Let me know. Or is it just in my recorded videos? I don't know what this sounds like. I don't know. And if you guys have any suggestions on like OBS Studio and why the microphone would just randomly static out. I tried looking it up on Google, cannot find anything out about it, so I don't know. I am trying to up the quality of my stuff though, so bear with me. Like I said, I've only been doing this a month. I plan to continue quite a while. I don't see an end in sight, so I want to grow this channel. I want to grow this community, and you know, so yeah, let's get back to this video.
unpronounceable was time.
Over hundreds of years, locals who were too busy to pronounce all the syllables in Cester reduced it to stir to save time. But they couldn't read or write, so the spelling stayed the same.
That
And while
sucks.
the English language has continued to gradually evolve, our
That sucks. Yeah, I don't know why why it does that, because when it's not staticky, it sounds great, I think, you know, or from what I could tell from like the playbacks or whatever. So I'm not exactly sure what's going on with that. I will be trying to improve that here soon, so don't give up on me quite yet. So I don't know. I'm a trying to figure something out, so I should have it figured out within the next couple days for sure. Also, how is it going, Piper Charms? Hello, nice to see you, or nice to meet you. So, all right, I'm back to this video.
Our place names haven't, resulting in a language landscape littered with phonetic booby traps.
But what about Froome? Which linguistic group is responsible for Britain's so-called hardest place name?
Unusually for a place name in England, Froome is from a surviving Celtic word, frama, which means fair, fine or brisk, probably describing the flow of its lovely river.
It's not really surprising that the oldest language in these islands is the one that's drifted the furthest from pronounceability.
So don't forget to join us for the next episode of Map Men.
That definitely would be an entirely different live stream. That is for sure.
Is that the end of your sentence?
Yeah, I'm done.
That's awesome.
Golly darn tootin' gee whiz, hot diggity woo!
What are you doing?
Oh, diggity
Putting on an
woo.
American accent to fool my computer into thinking I'm in America. Yippee-ki-wee, buckaroo!
Why are you doing that?
Because I want to watch all my favourite programmes on Netflix.
But you've already got Netflix.
Yes, but American Netflix has programmes that we don't get on UK
He's gonna
Netflix, including, curiously, some
bust
British
out.
programmes. So that's why I'm doing this really convincing accent so that my computer will let me access all the content I want. Zippity-doo-dah, gosh darn it, yee-haw!
Suit yourself.
That is not how we talk. Clearly, I don't talk like that. That's very stereotypical of like Texas or like, I mean, America's huge, man. It's so much bigger than like Britain and stuff. So I mean, and you know how, you know, Britain, I've seen in a lot of comments and stuff and videos, you go 5 minutes and you got a different accent in Britain. You know what I mean? Imagine America. It's so much bigger. That is definitely. I'm from northern India.
Hey, wait, aren't you going to tell me that's a really silly thing to do and instead I should use Surfshark?
Oh, we're doing an advert. Surfshark is an app and browser extension that lets you place your laptop or phone anywhere in the world, so you can access content that you may not usually be able to see in your country. Such as, for example, shows on US Netflix that you don't get in the UK, including The West Wing, Dexter, Broadchurch, The Walking Dead, Twin Peaks, All Dogs Go to Heaven, loads of James Bond films, the original Twilight Zone, Muppets Most Wanted, and Fiddler on the Roof. And those are just 10 examples from one streaming service in one country. Imagine the smorgasbord of content from across the planet you're missing out on without Surfshark.
And it works on an Amazon Fire Stick, which means you can watch all this stuff on a proper telly.
As well as country hopping, Surfshark makes your internet safer by masking your IP address, keeping your data private. Also, Surfshark is the only VPN that lets you have one account on an unlimited number of devices. Do you want to try out Surfshark for your very self?
Darn tootin'!
Darn tooting indeed. Click the link in the description and use the code MAPMEN to get 84% off Surfshark, plus 4 months extra for free.
And just between you and me, Surfshark offer a 30-day money-back guarantee, so there's no risk.
There you
in
go,
trying it out,
guys.
Just to see if you like it.
Go check out
sounds
Surfshark.
bonza, Mike. G'day, shrimp on the barbie, woollamaloo,
It
woollamaloo.
works in Australia as well.
Shrimp on it. I actually just did a video on. Oh, that was the end of that. Actually, I actually just did a video on. I don't know, 10 things you don't do in Australia or something. I don't know for sure the name of it. But anyways, the whole shrimp on the Barbie thing, that is, I guess, a stereotypical thing from the 80s. They did it in like a TV show or an advertisement that was supposed to like be appealing to the American audience. They don't even call it shrimp in Australia. They call it prawns. So I don't know if any of you guys are Australian. I'm not sure it's from right now. So, but anyways, that was why are British place names so hard to pronounce. I'm going to go ahead and bookmark this just because I will need to drop the links to these videos in the description. Video on YouTube. So I'm going to go ahead and look through my list real quick and see what else I can do real quick. I don't know how much time I have. My girlfriend should be getting home from work anytime, so let me see if I can find something. Suggestions after a bit. I'm just going to look through their channel here and see what else they got.
Welcome to Mapmen.
English counties. by, actually, let me check. Who's this channel? Jay Foreman. I'm going to go ahead and subscribe. Why don't you guys go ahead and subscribe as well? That video was pretty cool. It looks like they have a ton. These are going to be good videos right here. Yeah, and that's another thing I like about doing the channel that I'm doing. I'm able to bring you guys more content that you normally would have never came across. So, and also it goes the other way. You guys can suggest stuff to me that I would have never even came across. So like we're literally helping each other learn. It's pretty cool. Let me check the comments out real quick and I'll get back to this video. Says, annoyed when Americans do a stereotypical accent. It's not like we don't do stereotypical accents too. Yeah, and my microphone stops working. I don't know what's going on with that. I will be trying to get that fixed here in the next few days. I don't know. I've only had this issue like I've only been doing this YouTube channel for like a little over a month, and I've been constantly fucking with my shit, tweaking, trying to get everything to have a better quality for you guys. Camera, I'm sorry. And that's another thing too, you know, I'm kind of shy, camera shy for sure. I could not be doing this with an actual crowd. You guys are just lucky because you're on the other side of a camera. You're not actually physically in the... You know, I'm trying to get better at coming out of my shell, you know, and trying to be myself a little bit more. So, and yeah, I mean, I can understand why they would get annoyed a little bit, you know. They'd probably see it as somebody poking fun at them and stuff. So, I mean, you know, as long as you're doing it all in fun, you know, and good humor, and you're not actually just like, you know, making fun of somebody or something like that, you know, as long, you know, so, but O'Connor, or whoever else is in the view. It looks like there's another viewer right now. But anyways, if you guys do have any suggestions on audio in OBS Studio and why it would cut out like that, and it will be better for you guys also, I know it's probably pretty fucking annoying to listen to it. So yeah. So let's check out these English counties explained.
We're Tupmen.
And here's Tip Map.
Oh yeah, everything's plugged in. I've even changed USB ports. I thought it was because I plugged in a USB hub. It was going through there. I switched it out. So I don't know. I may end up trying to get it like a powered USB hub once I get some money. It'll work. I don't know. I'll definitely be getting on Google later and checking it out.
In today's program,
Oh, I know,
we're
it's
going to talk about
not a stupid question at all. At all. So many people, you know, disregard the fact that their cable could be loose or something. So, yeah, don't feel dumb about that, man. It's good, solid advice right there.
counties.
Counties are the building blocks that make up Britain. The units you're expected to have heard of to help place towns and villages you've not heard of, such as Wingerworth.
Where?
In Derbyshire.
Oh, where's Derbyshire?
Arguably, the county that inspires the fiercest pride and loyalty in its inhabitants is Yorkshire.
Yorkshire is known
Okay.
for Yorkshire puddings, Yorkshire terriers, and Yorkshire tea, which comes from this part of Yorkshire. With its distinctive accent, strong
This part of
identity, and
Yorkshire-
intense
what?
one-way rivalry with Lancashire next door, Yorkshire folk are proud to tell everyone they come across that they come from Yorkshire.
And they're all wrong to do so, because Yorkshire doesn't exist.
Yes, it does.
All right, show me a map with Yorkshire on it.
Okay. Here, this map of the 39 counties of England clearly shows a county called Yorkshire.
But this map of the 48 counties of England shows separate north, south, west and east riding of Yorkshire, but no single county called Yorkshire.
So are they
My
all
map's correct and
combined?
up to date.
So is mine. And so is this one.
What's going on?
We're doing map men.
No, I mean with the counties.
Well, the definition of county in Britain is a minefield of anomalies, asterisks, confusions, vague areas, and contradictory Wikipedia articles. The more you look for answers about what a county really is, the more
Pudding, huh?
questions you come across.
I'm not sure if I've had Yorkshire pudding. Is there like what's the actual, like what makes it a Yorkshire pudding besides it being from there? Like is there a certain specific like way they do it or like a type of flavor that they use or Yeah, this is confusing. I mean, there's a lot of stuff confused, and that's why I'm doing this. You know, I'm a very curious person. I love to learn about other countries and cultures. It seems like you know, America sucks. I mean, you know, you guys can say it. I'm not gonna get offended at all. I have no choice. I mean, yeah, you know, I like where I'm at. You know, I like my friends and family and stuff like that. But you know, if I had a choice, I would have probably been, you know, I would have rather been born in Europe or like Australia or, you know, somewhere else. It just seems like they're doing it so much better than us. We have a global influence, but like, what do you do? You know what I mean? So does Britain, you know, and they're probably a better country. Back to this video, I ramble a lot. I don't know why you guys even watch me.
Which is perhaps
I
why
appreciate it,
to do
though.
a video about them before.
Even Google Docs won't let you type the word county without suggesting, did you mean country?
But we're not taking
Yeah.
citation needed for an answer.
And Lunid, I don't know if I butchered her name or not. If I did, I apologize. I know my mic keeps cutting out. I don't know what's going on with it. I'm gonna try to fix it out. I've only had this problem the last few days, so that's something that I'm gonna be going into Google later, and hopefully sorting out here soon. So, and some Yorkshire pudding. That sounds pretty good.
It's time to do some actual research to find
Actual
out once
research
and
right
for
here.
all, what is a county? And go.
Oh, that looks good.
Right, now that we've eaten all those biscuits, should we start doing some research?
I've done it all.
Oh yeah,
First time England was split into what we now
we call them cookies. You guys call them biscuits. I forgot.
call counties was back in the 10th century when King Aethelstan wanted to
What we call a biscuit here is what you guys call like a scone, I believe. Maybe I'm wrong.
make sure all the same laws were being obeyed and all the same taxes were being collected all across England.
Which, curiously, is the opposite reason why you divide a nation up nowadays.
He split his kingdom into bite-sized manageable chunks and sent an earl to be in charge of each one of them.
How they got their names tells you a bit about how they were formed.
These were named after ethnic groups or old kingdoms that existed before England.
These ones that end in sex were part of the Saxon kingdoms which spread across the south of England.
And these ones took their name from the most important town, the county town, and added the Anglo-Saxon word shire on the end, the same word
Okay.
that sheriff comes from.
Sheriff. Ooh!
And for our American viewers, it's pronounced sheer, not shire.
Actually, it's pronounced shire, not sheer, plebs.
Over the centuries, these areas have been controlled by earls, dukes, sheriffs, lords, and at one point, counts, which is how they came to be known as counties.
When it said earls, I'm gonna go back. Yeah, right there. I don't know if you've seen that show, but it's an American TV show called My Name is Earl. It is hilarious. And I believe, I haven't seen it in years, I believe the premise of the show is basically like he's done a lot of shitty stuff in his day, and so like he believes in karma, bad karma's after him, so he's trying to like sort out his karma, and he's going through and trying to, but it's fucking funny, and it is great that they used his picture.
Dukes, sheriffs, lords, and at one point, counts, which is how they came to be known as counties.
The precise location of exactly where one county stopped and another one started wasn't important in those days. Nobody tried to draw the boundaries on a map until the 1080s when the Normans did a survey.
Hello, Norman. I've done a survey of all the people who say they live in Worcestershire.
Thanks, Norman. I'll just add that to my survey of all the people who say they live in Gloucestershire.
Oh dear.
So,
Dear.
is Worcestershire sauce from Worcestershire, England? I'm assuming it probably is. I probably sound like an idiot.
And that's how the fuzzy county borders became sharp lines, but with lots of panhandles, detached areas, exclaves and squiggly bits.
England's counties varied massively in size. The biggest, Yorkshire, was half the size of Wales, and the smallest, Rutland, was roughly the size of a Wale with 0 cities and frankly had no business being a county.
Harsh.
But these differences didn't really matter until, in 1888, the Prime Minister Lord Salisbury established administrative counties, making democracy local.
Each county would now have its own county council in the county town, in charge of local things like police, fire, council tax and so on.
But some counties were too big to be easily manageable,
Sussex got split into east and west.
and Yorkshire was split into its historic ridings, a word that meant thirds.
Ridings.
Ridings. Yeah, that sort of works.
In addition to this, big cities were given the status of county borough, which made them independent from the county they were in, effectively taking the Leicester out of Leicestershire, Derby out of Derbyshire, and Nottingham out of Nottinghamshire. So does this all mean that a united Yorkshire hasn't existed since 1888?
Well, not exactly. Strap in. The new administrative counties did not replace the historic counties. Both systems confusingly coexisted at the same time.
And the confusion was only going to get worse.
Lots of towns in Britain had the same name.
This often caused confusion, with many people's letters being delivered to the wrong place.
Which is why from 18-something onwards, the Royal Mail required that every address had to end with a county.
But because many post towns happened to spread inconveniently across county borders, the Royal Mail, for their own convenience, introduced the last thing Britain needed: another county's map.
The post office's counties didn't match up with the historic ones or the administrative ones. For example, the town of Ugly was in the county of Essex, but the address ended in
There's a town of
Which
Ugly?
meant there were now 3 interpretations of what county you lived in: historical, administrative, and or postal.
As the centuries rolled on, the county
Yeah, that's funny you say that, Piper. She says, I'm pretty sure most of us don't know all our counties. You know, here in the United States, we have, different states, right? And then within those states, we have a bunch of counties, which you're probably aware of. If not, I'm just going to tell you anyways. But it's the same thing. I know like a bunch of them that's around me. I'm in northern Indiana, Fulton County to be more specific. So I know the surrounding ones and a lot of the ones up north. But like when you start getting down to like the middle and the southern part of the states and stuff, there's just so much here.
county system went from being confusing to being completely out of date. After the Industrial Revolution, Britain's new big cities were man-spreading themselves across county borders.
And many county towns were no longer the commercial powerhouses they used to be.
The once mighty city of York had fallen to 5th place in non-existent Yorkshire.
The counties didn't reflect 20th century Britain in any cultural, practical, or meaningful
Full sense. It was time for a complete shake-up. The year was 1972, a time of optimism and experimentation and the first episode of Rainbow.
The Local
didn't mean
Government
to-
Act of 1972
I didn't mean to blow that at the camera, guys.
was a radical attempt at cleaning up the complicated, outdated counties mess both once and for all.
Brand new metropolitan counties sprang into existence, with modern-sounding names like Merseyside, Greater Manchester, West Midlands and Tyne and Wear.
London, of course, wasn't included in any of this, as they'd already done their own thing 10 years earlier, which Jay has previously discussed on a video he made without me.
At the same time, several traditional counties vanished overnight. It was county carnage. Huntingdonshire got eaten by Cambridgeshire, Hereford got anded with Worcester, Cumberland, Westmoreland and this lump of Lancashire were all merged and given the horrible new name Cumbria.
And silly little Rutland was sensibly absorbed by Leicestershire.
Chances are nobody would have Battenberged an eyelid at yet another change to Britain's local authorities, but the government made a big mistake.
They messed with Yorkshire.
Yorkshire's borders got a complete meddling, creating a new South Yorkshire, which was cheeky. But when the East Riding got taken out of Yorkshire altogether and became part of the new Humberside, that was not on. It was off.
The previously Yorkshirean residents of Hull were not at all keen to be lumped with Grimsby on the other side of the River Humber.
It was a particularly bizarre union given the Humber Bridge connecting the two sides hadn't even been built yet. There was an anti-Humberside campaign, and even anti-Humberside graffiti.
All this kerfuffle
Lot of
forced the
hate.
government's hand, and in 1996, Humberside quietly disappeared.
As did other unpopular experiments like Cleveland and Avon.
Hereford and Worcester once again became Hereford and Worcester. Sure. Even ridiculous Rutland regained its status as England's smallest county.
The shake-up of 1972, designed to simplify things, did nothing of the sort, instead marking the beginning of an era where county borders, names and powers have been changing on an ever-increasing basis.
England today has 9 regions comprising 47 ceremonial counties alongside 6 metropolitan counties comprising 36 metropolitan districts, 26 non-metropolitan counties comprising 192 non-metropolitan districts and 56 unitary authorities, not including Greater London, which is a ceremonial county and not a county, comprising 32 boroughs, and the City of London, which is a district and a county and not a ceremonial county, and we haven't even talked about Scotland, Wales or Northern Ireland where it's different.
Absolute state of this.
Although it may seem more impossible than ever to tell what and isn't a county, according to this particularly aggressive map publisher,
It's very simple. Our historic counties have never been affected, nor their boundaries changed by the endless shifting of local government boundaries over the past 100 years.
this is a view shared by the increasingly exasperated Association of British Counties, who seek to
Give every county a county day, teach counties to school children, fly county flags in every county, stop using the word county for local authorities who are not proper counties.
fruitcakes. The reality is, unless you live in a county that's particularly unusually proud of itself, like Yorkshire, in general not much of a monkeys is given about the county you live in.
And that might be because it just doesn't really matter. It's not like the USA, where laws vary from one state to the next.
Even Royal Mail doesn't care anymore, thanks to postcodes. Putting a county on your address has been unnecessary since 1996, despite the boxes they make you fill in on Amazon.
But just because
I have not done anything on the City of London, and that does sound interesting. Yeah, I'm gonna keep that thought, and I may get around to it at some point soon. And also, if you guys are new to the stream, I am having audio issues. Bear with me. It's been cutting out for like a second or two at a time, but it comes back. So, yeah,
Because they're not important doesn't mean we should forget about them. Present-day knowledge and understanding of English counties is in an abysmal state.
We stopped over 4 people on the street and not a single one of them could faultlessly name every single county in England and its county town.
Well, we think that's a terrible shame, and it's about time something was done about it.
Sorry, I missed
And its
that.
county. Over 4 people on the street and not a single one of them could faultlessly name every single county in England and its county
Oh, well,
town.
yeah.
Well, we think that's a terrible shame, and it's about time something was done about it. Oh, there's Leicestershire, Oxfordshire, Rutland, and...
Oh, he smashed that guitar.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Sir.
Sir who?
Surfshark is a VPN, an app and browser extension that
There you
makes your
guys go.
internet safer by masking your IP address, protecting you from trackers and hackers. It has servers in more than 60 countries, which means you can bypass your country's internet restrictions and experience a fully open global internet.
Sounds pretty nerdy. Not for me, thanks.
It's not nerdy.
Only nerds use acronyms like VPN.
Okay, I'll show you how it's useful without using any acronyms. Let's say
So,
you're at a cafe and you're using your laptop using the public Wi-Fi.
If you guys haven't
You're trying to
subscribed,
leave a comment
go
on
ahead and
the
do
YouTube
that.
video, but it won't let you because
Share,
the Wi-Fi is restricted.
hit the notification bell. It only helps the channel grow.
Oh.
Anyway, if you've got
And the more,
Surfshark, then in just 2 clicks
turn
you
this
can
down a little
Surfshark
bit.
on, and hey,
The more
there's
people that
notifications
share and like my videos,
This genuinely happened to me in Starbucks, and I was genuinely
people,
blown away by how easy
and the more motivated I will be to continue making great content for you. So,
Dark web.
and also, I'll just know what you guys like. You know, the videos, obviously, they get the more likes. I'll know, hey, this is what my viewers want to see. So I'll just keep on doing content like that. So,
bypassing restricted Wi-Fi to leave YouTube comments in a cafe. Surfshark, you should get Surfshark. Northamptonshire is next door.
oh, and that's the end of it. So, well, anyways, that was English Counties Explained, which I need to bookmark this so I can put the link in the description section after I post it to YouTube when it goes live. So, any suggestions for any videos, put those down. I don't know that I can do all of them, but I'll go through and get to some that I can get to. I do have a list going from other comments, other suggestions that I have got so far. And let's see, videos, she says, videos about the City of London from the channel CGP Grey are pretty good. Let me go check out that channel, actually. CGP Grey. Also, shout out to that channel, and go ahead and give them a subscribe if you want to see videos about London. Okay, so it's not just London, it's a bunch of stuff. I get it. Yeah, and you know, I mainly do geographies, cultures, and stuff like that. But I mean, you know, if you guys want to see reactions to other stuff, I'm down for that too. Like right here, which planet is the closest? The trouble with tumbleweed. That looks pretty interesting. And also, never seen before. So you really are watching me see these videos for the very first time. So, uh-oh. It says my stream's going crazy here. It says error. YouTube is not receiving enough data to maintain smooth streaming as such. Well, anyways, I don't know what's going on with that. Well, I'm gonna go ahead. Hold on, guys. I apologize. Yeah, so I don't know what's going on with this. It's saying I'm having an error. One of these videos about London. If it'll stop giving me issues here, I don't know what's going on. Should I just keep doing it, or let me know. How bad is this lag? I don't know. probably... Okay. Seems that it's still saying error. Here, I'll show you. See? It's saying error. YouTube's not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. As such, viewers will experience buffering. I don't know. So I guess we'll go ahead and just carry on and hope it gets better. Alright, so search this channel, London. Secret City of London, History Edition. Alright, we'll check this one out.
The great city of London, known for its historical landmarks, modern skyscrapers, ancient markets, and famous bridges. It's arguably the financial capital of the world and home to over 11,000 people. Wait, what? 11,000? That's right, but the City of London is a different place from London. Though London is also known for its historical landmarks, modern skyscrapers, ancient markets, famous bridges, and is home to the government, royal family, and 7 million people.
Did it say the City of London is different than...
That's right, but the City of London is a different place from London. Though London is also known for its historical landmarks, modern skyscrapers, ancient markets, famous bridges, and is home to the government, royal family, and 7 million people. But if you look at a map of London crafted by a careful cartographer, that map will have a 1 square mile hole near the middle. It's here where the City of London lives inside the city named London. Despite these confusingly close names, the two Londons have separate city halls and elect separate mayors who collect separate taxes to fund separate police who enforce separate laws. The mayor of the City of London has a fancy title, the Right Honourable the Lord Mayor of London, to match his fancy outfit. He also gets to ride in a golden carriage and work in a guild hall, while the Mayor of London has to wear a suit, ride a bike, and work in an office building. The City of London also has its own flag and its own crest, which is awesome and makes London's lack of either twice as sad. To top it off, the City of London gets to act more like one of the countries in the UK than just an oddly located city. For, uniquely, the corporation that runs the City of London is older than the United Kingdom.
Which London? Which one am I thinking of? Which one is the famous London?
By several hundred years. So how did the UK end up with two Londons, one inside of the other? Because Romans. 2,000 years ago, they came to Great Britain, killed a bunch of druids, and founded a trading post on the River Thames and named it Londinium. Being Romans, they got to work doing what Romans do, enforcing laws, increasing trade, building temples, public baths, roads, bridges, and a wall to defend their work. And it's this wall which is why the current city of London exists. For though the Romans came and the Romans went, and kingdoms rose and kingdoms fell, the wall endured, protecting the city within. And the city, governing itself and trading with the world, grew rich. 1,000 years after the Romans, yet still 1,000 years ago, when William the Conqueror came to Great Britain to conquer everything and begin modern British history, he found the city of London with its sturdy walls more challenging to defeat than farmers on open fields. So he agreed to recognize the rights and privileges City of Londoners were used to in return for them recognizing him as the new king. Though after the negotiation, William quickly built towers around the City of London, which were just as much about protecting William from the locals within as defending against the Vikings from without. This started a 1,000-year-long tradition whereby monarchs always reconfirmed that yes, the City of London is a special, unique place that's best left to its own business, while simultaneously distrusting it. Many a monarch thought the City of London was too powerful and rich, and one even built a new capital city nearby named West.
Right there, that shield or coat of arms or whatever that's called, that looks fucking cool.
Monarch thought the City of London was too powerful and rich, and one even built a new capital city nearby named Westminster to compete with the City of London and hopefully suck power and wealth away from it.
Okay, so Greater City of London, I think. You wouldn't notice if you walked into City of London. Okay, so they kind of... I think I understand.
This was the start of the Second London. As the centuries passed, Westminster grew and merged with nearby towns, eventually surrounding the walled-in and still separate City of London. But people began to call the whole urban collection London, and the name became official when Parliament joined the towns together under a single municipal government with a mayor. But the mayor of London still doesn't have power over the tiny City of London, which has rules and traditions like nowhere else in the country and possibly the world. For example, the ruling monarch doesn't just enter the city.
So is it basically the City of London is a small... The other London? Is that what it is? Or am I confused here? I don't know. Why is the north of England uncomplicated? Is it because it's less populated, there's less going on than down around London, or I don't know.
City of London on a whim, but instead asks for permission from the Lord Mayor at a ceremony. While it's not required by law, the ceremony is unusual to say the least. The City of London also has a representative in Parliament, the Remembrancer, whose job it is to protect the city's special rights. Because of this, laws passed by Parliament sometimes don't apply to the City of London, most notably voting reform laws, which we'll discuss next time. But if you're curious for a preview, unlike anywhere else in the UK, elections in the City of London involve medieval guilds and modern companies. Finally,
Medieval
the City of London
guilds,
also owns and operates land and buildings far outside its border, making it quite wealthy. Once you start looking for the city's crest, you'll find it in lots of unexpected places, most notably on
What did you try burning down? London or Northern England? 1666, huh?
Tower Bridge, which, while being in London, is operated by the City of London. These crests everywhere, when combined with the City of London's age and wealth and quasi-independent status, make it an irresistible temptation for conspiracy nuts. Add in the oldest Masonic temple, and it's not long before the crazy part of the internet starts yelling about secret societies controlling the world via the finance industry from inside the city-state of London. And don't forget the reptilian alien queen who's really behind it all. But conspiracy theories aside, the City of London is not an independent nation like the Vatican is, no matter how much you might read it on the internet. Rather, it's a unique place in the United Kingdom with a long and very complicated history. The wall that began all this 2,000 years ago is now mostly gone, so the border between London and its secret inner city isn't so obvious. Though, next time you're in London, if you come across a small dragon on the street, he still guards the entrance to the city in a country in a country.
City inside. Wow. That's awesome. Thanks for the suggestion, Piper. That was amazing, actually. Okay, Great Fire of London. I have heard of that, I believe. That would be a good one to... Great Fire of London. Let me grab a pen. I'm going to write that down. I might do a video reaction on that as well. I will put your name down as well. Let's see here. Great Fire of London. That one is going to be awesome. So, yes. It's hard for me to get videos out all the time, but I do try to get them out daily. It doesn't always happen. I do miss days here and there, but usually when I miss a day, I'll usually get at least two or three out, you know, to make up for it like the next day or whatever. Or like today, I didn't do an actual video, but I decided to go live. About 42 minutes now. I am going to go ahead and get off of here. My girlfriend should be getting home anytime. So, but anyways, yes. Again, if you have any suggestions on OBS Studio and audio problems or why my audio keeps fuzzing out, please put that in the comment section. Try to help me get this figured out. It'll just be a better quality video for you guys to listen to or to watch. I know terrible audio sucks, so I apologize that I'm forcing you to deal with that. So, but anyways, yes, it was interesting, James. Thank you. Videos from here on out. I got to go through and get everything kind of tweaked in and figured out and all that kind of stuff. So, but anyways, help me get this channel growing, guys. I have 420 subscribers. I've only been doing this since August 7th, so we're looking at not even a month and a half that I've been doing this. So I can't believe that the channel is growing as fast as it is. It's very surprising to me. So let's get it growing faster. Let's see how fast we can get this community growing. I would like to be awesome. I've been getting at least around about 10 or so a day. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, share this stuff. If you got any friends that you think would be interested in my reactions, share it. Throw this on Facebook. Get it everywhere that you can put it. That would be amazing. I would appreciate it. I do have an Etsy store if you guys want to check that out. I have links to it on my channel. You can get yourself an American Guy Reacts t-shirt. I will have other stuff available here soon as well. And I don't know what other stuff you're into, but I will have other stuff on my store as well, different kind of like travel inspired t-shirts and like different kind of various sort of things. So go over there and check that out. And yes, I will get out of here. This was very fun. I enjoy this a lot. So I'm not good on camera. I'm going to get off of here, you know, stop while I'm ahead sort of thing, because I ramble a lot. So, all right, take care, guys.